Have you guys ever tried to microwave a marshmallow?
Yeah.
No, does it sound disgusting?
Like to heat it up, but it just expands.
If you're gonna just light a candle and hold it over that.
True.
That takes a lot of
if you got
time.
a gas-fired stove.
Or gas-fired stove, which I don't own.
It takes a lot of time.
It really doesn't.
To light a candle
and roast.
Are you like?
How do you light a candle, Kevin? How do you
get this?
No, not to light a candle, but to roast the marshmallow.
It takes like 5 seconds.
I disagree. To get a good roast.
I think you're just doing it wrong.
No, I feel like your standards for roasted marshmallow are very low.
That might be
I'm
true.
1,000% sure that you can get a better result using a candle than fucking
But it would take a long time.
Here's my rule of microwave.
You just said it doesn't work. It expands. It doesn't.
Does.
It doesn't get any kind of toast.
See, here's
it just gets melted.
Here's the thing about microwaves.
It's good if you want to make impromptu Rice Krispie treats. You just put one marshmallow in, and then in a bowl of Rice Krispies, and then you just take a spoon after you microwave it.
The thing about microwaves though is that once food has been through the microwave, it is essentially ruined at that point.
That is true.
Except soup.
No.
Soup's
Yeah, but
good.
soup is 1,000 times better when you just make it yourself, and it's also better when you just heat it up on the stove.
Yeah,
it's
microwave
like
food is
stick it in,
worse
like, a
than
pot
food that hasn't
put it
been
over the stove.
microwaved, but it doesn't mean that it's down and out.
It is absolutely down and out.
What about like beverages? Because you could just
microwave.
Are you telling me you put?
I think say like you made a cup of tea and then it got cold.
Yeah, but you're
because
just
you forgot
heating
about
water.
it.
You're not adding. You're not really doing anything.
Also,
That's the same
I feel like it'd
thing
still
for,
be
like-
better to just put it on the stove for like a minute.
Yeah,
or
it would be.
two.
That's why you have the teapots.
Exactly.
Well, you lose too much is the issue with that.
Oh, okay.
That's why you would
why
microwave
you
a cup.
It's too much effort for too little reward.
Yeah, I
Would
guess.
be the problem.
I don't
Also,
know.
you need a specific.
But like, what about hot
Also,
pockets?
side
Do you make your hot pockets in the
I
oven?
don't make hot
Hot
pockets.
pockets are fucking disgusting.
Side
That's
commentary.
true. What about pop
Is
tarts?
that real food?
I've never eaten a hot pocket once.
Wait,
Are you
do
serious?
Oh,
no, I have. I probably
You can
have.
microwave them.
I use
But
a toaster.
I use a
go back
toaster
in time
too.
and kill
But
myself.
you can microwave them.
Ooh, actually, hot take, Pop-Tarts. Kevin is right on this one.
When I ate Pop Tarts, I didn't put them in the microwave. I just ate them
But
raw.
you can. Oh yeah, I
Well,
use
so
them raw.
this-
too,
Yeah, I would
but
put
you
them in
can.
the toaster.
You
It's
can
right.
put them in the
You're supposed to
toaster.
put
But
toaster
you
with their
can
food
microwave
sauce.
them though. But does this mean that in comparison, would you prefer a microwave Pop Tart or would you prefer a stovetop cooked Pop Tart?
I just eat them
No,
raw.
you
That's
put
what I
it in
used
the
to do.
toaster.
What about popcorn?
That's
Popcorn's-
like the one exception.
Well, no,
No, but popping your own popcorn.
you just couldn't
It's
do
still
it.
better.
It's
really
time-consuming, but
rewarding.
it's still better.
It is
It's
still
really
better.
rewarding though.
It's still way
it's not
better
that
to
hard.
pop.
Well,
It's
so
really
I think
not.
It's not.
The only thing
I
you need
think
is the butter flavor.
The
thing.
like the
And you don't even
taste is
necessarily
really
that's
different.
optional. That's optional.
I usually just do like salt. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
usually good
You
enough.
use
I mean-
salt and some oil, like some vegetable oil.
I think there's an
Well, you
added
have to-
capacity
you have to
of
pop it in the
popcorn
oil.
yourself,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
So it
yeah.
already got the oil on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you don't
like
know.
add it on after. Yeah.
But
never
I-
mind.
Yeah, I don't know why
Never
you would
mind.
add oil to oil, but
Some of the worst things I put through the microwave
Cool down.
include like pasta with like, sauce on it. That
Thank you.
is ruined by putting it through the microwave.
Depends on like the
I mean,
consistency
using
of
a
sauce.
canned sauce or a jarred sauce is already ruining.
No, well, no, you can
I
actually.
think you
improve
no,
it.
but
I
it's
don't
not
get this.
that
It's-
hard to make.
Like I know it's not, but like I'm not. I don't think jarred sauce is that bad compared.
Well, here's the thing. If you
Yeah.
if
It's
you
not that bad.
if you-
but
if
it's
you
not-
just-
it's
if
If you
not
have,
like
I,
it at all.
I agree if you have the
thing.
time, make sauce, but like I don't.
You just need a can of tomatoes and some garlic.
Well, the thing is,
Mostly.
if you like take canned sauce and just use that, then yeah, it's
No,
not
it's
gonna be
good.
good.
Yeah,
But
if you cook it out a
you
little
can
bit,
add
you
stuff
can
to
fix
it to
it.
make it like taste really good. So that
That's
it's just like, is this jarred pasta? I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
No, that
Quote of the day:
I would say if you
jarred
buy the
pasta.
Canned pasta.
I have a jar
if
of
you get like
pasta.
a
Canned
regular
bread.
and you add stuff
That's
to it.
probably a thing.
It
But
can't
there's
bread
like
and
they already
cookies.
have ones that are like there's already like all this crap in it, and then you like people just like microwave it and throw it.
Yeah,
on
but
the
no, see, that seems
stuff.
gross. It seems way better
Yeah.
just like take your own like whatever you want, like garlic.
yeah, that
pepper,
seems
whatever,
like something
throw
that would
in.
happen in like the montage of Jerry from Rick and Morty, just like making meals while he's living on his own. Like it seems like that's the kind of thing, or like that's the kind of thing that would happen for like a person who just got kicked out of their house and is now living in like a shitty one room.
Or just like
if,
a retard.
if we're going to talk about Rick and Morty, I have a good question about it.
No,
Let's
we're
not.
talking about microwaves.
We're not going to
Shut
talk
up,
about Rick
We
and Morty.
can bounce.
Do you want to bounce?
No.
I have another story about microwaves.
Oh, okay.
We're still on
I will
microwaves.
hold off.
Apparently, when like microwaves were first invented, like people
Who
were so
died?
enamored by it
Oh yeah,
that they just cooked everything inside the microwave, and it was all fucking disgusting.
yeah. But
But
it's
like they all like they cook like meat and like potatoes and shit. Like
because it's
everything.
done in like a minute. It's like magic.
It's like magic.
I
Even
can't-
if it tastes like shit, it's magic.
It's
This is how you beat the
it's like, you're
Soviets.
just making raw meat hot. You're not
This is how we're gonna beat the Soviets. We're gonna microwave our meat. We're gonna microwave our potatoes. We're gonna microwave
Maybe-
our goddamn children. We're gonna...
Maybe they'll copy it and then die.
When were microwaves invented?
I don't even know. It's been a while. They've been around for a while.
Space race?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
post space race.
I
Or
I
the
feel
old-
like
the
it
old
might have
ice
been
box.
at the
No, but, like,
same
what
time
about-
as the
Yeah,
space
Well,
race.
it probably came out of the space
What
race.
about
Right?
Yeah.
microwave meals? Like the things that you'd eat in front of the
Those
TV?
are also shit.
Well, those I'm sure
Those
came
are
out
TV
after the
dinners.
Oh,
microwave.
TV dinners.
You know,
Yeah,
they
TV
are
dinners.
absolute. They are like
those are rancid.
lowest
crap.
common denominator. Of
They're- You can
food.
buy them for
They're-
a dollar.
Yeah, but-
They
but,
give
like,
you
they-
80%
are
of your
they-
daily value
Yeah.
of salt in half a serving.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not great.
It is.
Yeah,
All
they're
of these
like-
things
Hey,
are much
you
cheaper
get,
to make
you get that
yourself.
spice as if you're in the medieval era. You know, just straight salt on everything.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
Because
it's not
it's the only
there.
thing they have.
Precisely.
Actually, now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Unless unless you got that dank Silk Road working for you, and then you can get you some spices.
No, we're talking like
Nondescript
peasant.
spices.
Just a peasant working on like the farms in
1946. When we're
Yeah, so that's actually not even close to space race.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, actually,
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
was
say,
thinking
I feel like the
that's
microwave was
post-
Yeah,
one of
because
those
like I'm
things that was
thinking like
invented a lot
TV
sooner than
dinners
thought.
were
Yeah.
popular
That's
before
post-war.
space race.
Like electric cars were like
Ice
invented like way before like Tesla, obviously. But, like,
Yeah.
they didn't get popular until now because they were pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Like what was like that one other thing that was around for like ever? I think it was like
cars.
No, I think it was like computers were around since like
Oh, they had computers like during the war, but they were like the size of a building.
during like
It
the
was used
1800s.
in-
During
Yeah, they
No.
had computers in the 1800s.
Well,
that's
it
true.
depends on your definition of computer.
Yeah,
the first
that's-
The
like
PC was
technical-
not around.
Obviously not the PC,
I mean,
but
like,
the
'cause it's
first
a personal
computing machine was around the 1800s.
The first
I think-
computing
I mean, if you
machine
if
has
you
been
consider
around
the
since,
abacus a computing machine,
No, that's
yeah,
not a
it is a
machine.
computing machine.
No, there's like
not like the electronic computer.
that's like manual though. That not
Yeah.
yeah, if we're talking about the electronic computer though, that was like
So
late 1800s.
So just for clarity purpose, the microwave was invented in 1946. It was licensed in 1955, but the first like stove like consumer
Microwave oven.
microwave for like the countertop was in 1967. So
Okay,
like,
so it's kind of.
but it's not
post-
space race related.
Yeah, it's not at all related to it, but it's still kind of post.
It's more like almost space race because space race was 69, right?
It was a little earlier, wasn't it?
I think
Well,
it was
it's 60s.
definitely 60s. Yeah.
It was earlier 60s. It wasn't
I feel
late
bad.
60s.
I'm now googling this as well.
When was the moon landing?
Well,
That's the only
because
point.
Kennedy started it and then it was finished.
It came as a result, though, I think, because they were able to harness this radiation more readily, and
Yeah.
they were able to like use aluminum for things.
Aluminium.
Because apparently space race began in the 1950s. Yeah, it ended in 69. So like, it ramped up in the 60s. Is how I phrase it.
Okay.
It depends on when you want to actually quote it as starting it. If you want to go far back as like Soviets launching rockets, I guess. But then also, then you could actually say that the Germans were in it, and then they also launched rockets. So I just don't.
No, they weren't space rockets. They were rockets to destroy London. It wasn't
How'd that
quite
work?
the same. It wasn't quite the same thing.
I mean, the amount that hit, they might as well have said they were going for space.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah. It's amazing that any of them hit their targets at all.
Well,
given
also,
that-
like the English were like, "Hey, what if we just distracted the fact that they're not hitting us?"
Didn't they like dump? It was like they had a.
They had many
They had
things.
one of the things was like they had a body with.
Oh, that was Operation Mincemeat.
Coordinates. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they found them. They're like, "Hey, this is all the shit we need to hit." And
Yeah.
They never actually hit anything, and their coordinates were all off. And they had. Didn't they have like a double agent?
something like
Or
that.
they had like a spy
They fed
saying,
a false
telling them
intel.
that it was like, "Oh yeah, the rockets are doing good work."
Yeah, they were just like
Hit
wow.
nothing.
Yeah, they also did, I think, fake news. Actually, fake news though. That was like, "Hey, like London's getting the shit bombed out of it." They're like, "Oh, you must be hitting London." And it's like,
Well, yeah, the whole
Good work, boys.
the misinformation campaigns were vital to all strategy
yeah.
during the war.
I mean, they also did the So when D-Day was going down, they also like put forward a like fake operation, and just because Patton had been
Oh yeah, and they
suspended,
moved
they
everything.
moved Patton to like
Yeah.
this area. He's like, Patton, who do you command? No troops, just W troops that might go and land in Europe. So
Yeah.
it was just like, oh no.
Yeah, did they move most of their troops like down?
Yeah, they moved a lot of troops down. They didn't even, the Germans didn't even have any armored divisions like
Yeah.
at the actual landing sites,
They
which
just
is a huge plus.
they kept a little. I almost said thankfully they kept some troops on the beaches. Obviously,
I mean, it wasn't.
Well, honestly,
they moved the bulk
they're not
of their
just
force.
they're not just gonna leave a whole sector undefended. That's
Yeah.
retarded. That's
I mean, I suppose you could say thankfully because, I mean, if you're just thinking about it from the Germans' point of view, you're not sharing their ideology.
I never said that.
I feel like I'd stop. I just stop.
What do you mean? What's wrong?
They didn't do anything.
No, what do you mean?
Doesn't matter. They're all dead now.
That is true.
Yeah.
We killed them.
Or old age killed them.
No, Hitler's living like
I mean,
like Mr. House. he's all
He's-
set up.
he's
I mean, give it a decade, they will all
Argentina.
actually
He's
just be
in
dead.
Argentina right now. His head's next to Walt Disney's.
His head is Walt Disney.
He is Walt. He is Walt
He is
Disney
Walt
all
Disney.
along.
My favorite though is that so this is like an interesting one I found out because my class in the aftermath of World War II when Germany was split, West Germany, which is owned by us, was very sympathetic towards ex-Nazis because they're like, hey, you guys ran our government, you did an okay job except for the whole war thing. What if you did it again but ran it better this time without that horrible let's exterminate the Jews and make a war thing? So they're actually sympathetic towards like the
System of government?
no, they were sympathetic towards Nazi, like not like Hitler would have still been executed.
So they
kind
were
of thing.
fine with everything besides the Holocaust.
Yeah, basically.
I think it's more like their way of leadership.
Yeah,
in
it's
regards to like.
well, so like basically like
And
ex
also like
leaders.
policies
Regards to,
that they want to pass.
Policies,
to
I don't know.
the-
I know for a fact that like ex Nazis were allowed to be elected into the government, which like on the Eastern Front they were like, no. You do not get to just lose the war and then get to go back into government.
Yeah.
Also the whole
Because they
ideology
lost,
thing.
so they were probably a lot less sympathetic to them.
Yeah, I mean the other thing in with that was like later on they then were like, wait a minute, ex Nazis in the government, oh no, and then they did prosecute them, but like it took them a while.
Yeah. A lot of those trials didn't really happen until like 47, 48. They lasted
Yeah.
longer than you'd expect.
Yep.
That's a fair point, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the Holocaust was obviously bad, but other than that, I don't think it was.
They still kind of like.
I mean, they did a like just like on like the war front, they did
They did a great
a
job.
pretty good job. They took
Up
over the
to a
majority.
point.
That's true.
Yeah,
They
until
did.
they started
Operation
making some
Barbarossa,
retarded ass
yeah.
moves, yeah, obviously.
Well, a lot of those were like or done by Hitler.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah, no,
like,
most
if,
of-
if it was someone who was like actually like military and like knew things about strategy, they might have actually been.
Yeah.
able
I
to-
mean, they told him. He said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, Hitler just
Anyway.
he just didn't listen.
Yeah.
He just didn't listen to anything that anyone had to say.
But
He's
yeah,
like, no, I'm the boss.
they
fuck you."
really did have a good chance of getting all of Britain and
Yeah.
Oh, they
even
absolutely-
Russia.
Oh, they absolutely.
Even like they could have marched
They just
straight
went-
onto Russia.
They just went too late in the year is the problem. They didn't have
Yeah.
any snow gear either.
Because he was like, if we give them snow gear, if we don't give them any snow gear, they'll be more motivated to beat them before winter comes. You fucking retarded.
goddamn stupid.
Come on.
Jesus.
I mean,
Christ.
sure, but then
I mean,
if winter does come,
It
they're
kind
gonna
of,
die.
I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but it's also the largest country on Earth, so it's like,
yeah, like,
Yeah, it's
Come
there's
on.
quite a bit of Russia to conquer.
yeah, and they also have.
well, I
like,
mean, they
more
don't
people.
need to do the whole thing. You only need.
They
like,
tried to do the whole thing.
They tried to, but they would only need like the first
Europe
bit,
part.
and then- yeah, the Europe.
Yeah, not
part.
Siberia.
The rest of it's useless.
No, they just needed like the Moscow, Leningrad area, and then
Which they almost
and then
had.
Azerbaijan, which they also almost had.
So they were like Leningrad. Or was it? Oh no, it was Stalingrad.
Stalingrad.
I think with Stalingrad was like they initially like were winning Stalingrad and
No,
like,
then
they
he
stalled
split. They
out.
moved the troops.
They
right?
there's
Yeah,
something like
I think
that,
they split it like Stalingrad. Like they were going to like he like cut it in half. Like half were going to Stalingrad and the other half were going to.
Yeah, it was
buttfuck nowhere or
like they were
something.
all supposed to go to 3 separate cities. He had one force going, I think, to like Stalingrad, and then he split them up, then he put them back together, and then he split them back up again.
Yeah.
Was
If,
also
like
it's
if you
like-
just kept them all together and went on to
Yeah, they
one
would've
city
won.
at a
They-
time.
it was- yeah.
They're also to my understanding there was like a frozen lake because it was winter and like
Did they
basically
try to walk across it?
no. So like to my understanding what happened was like the Germans had like won most of the battles to capture Stalingrad but hadn't like routed all the forces from the city.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so like they then like hunkered down for a bit, like over the course of a month, and like in that month, the Russians were just like, or the Soviets at that point were just like, what if we were just to reinforce Stalingrad with a shit ton of troops by sending them over this frozen lake? So they did,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden,
man.
like the force just wasn't crushed, and they could actually fight back, and it was like, what the fuck?
They just kept fighting the city for months and months till they eventually pushed them back out.
Yeah.
Whereas if they just spearheaded Stalingrad from the beginning, they could have made it to
They were just
Azerbaijan,
missing bicycle
got the
units.
oil fields.
They're just missing bicycles.
Azerbaijani oil fields.
Get those oil fields, baby.
And basically, any
The
of
only
them
thing
Mr.
that
Oil
Russia
Fields.
I think it would have been interesting if they like did get Russia, and then like the Germans were the next ones to go into Afghanistan instead of like the Russians.
I feel like
was
they
it the
would've-
Russians or the
Okay.
Brits who went into Afghanistan
Brits
post World
went.
War II?
Brits went first. Russians went into the 80s.
Yeah, the Mujahideen got funded by the United States under Senator Wilson.
How did these mountain people get surface to air missiles? Where could those have come
Where are
from?
these people throwing fucking spears at each other and all this shit?
They live in caves, but they have AKs.
How did they take down our fucking helicopters? They're cave people.
Sand.
Sand.
They had the sand tank.
They got
that
so much
SpongeBob
opium.
used. Yeah, it was the sand tank that SpongeBob used.
They stuck a shit ton of sand to the tail rotor and they all spun out.
No, they just
They threw
compressed
sand
the
into
sand.
the pilot's eyes, and he got confused.
Fucking sand.
So it was Senator Wilson.
It was Wilson. Okay.
Was he senator?
Do you think the Germans
Representative-
would have
Representative
actually
Wilson,
been
my
able to
bad.
tame Afghanistan, though?
No one else has. It's not. It's called the graveyard of empires.
It's
for a
listening to
reason.
like the
It's
cultural,
the worst place on earth.
So,
The Mujahideen, like even if you do conquer the Mujahideen, they literally just become a rogue party within your own conquered lands. They just like won't submit because they have no purpose to.
If
If
the high burden happened. Yeah.
no, like if they were to be conquered,
Well, yeah.
the
Which
caveat
is-
being, can you conquer them? I don't think you could ever actually conquer them because it would just become a.
Yeah, you can't.
I
They're
mean, if
just.
you kill everyone, does that count?
I mean, then there's no people, so like you're
I mean,
decimating.
I think that kind of counts.
I think that counts.
I guess.
Think about
if you
it.
just move them
If you-
somewhere
if you-
else.
Okay, let's say you want to win this portion of land, right? And there's a bunch of people on it. If you kill them all,
It's yours now.
It's yours.
Yeah.
but if in doing so you make the land
I don't
not
know,
worth
it didn't really
anything,
work
then
out
you-
for
The land already is
Then
worth
this,
anything.
this
land
brings
is
up. This
worth
brings
you
more.
up.
can grow poppy.
That's not all that.
worthless.
No, this
Opium
kind of
poppy?
brings up a question.
Are you
of-
kidding me? The CIA used that shit in like... Oh no, that was cocaine. Shit.
No, but like,
Cocaine is not poppy.
All
No,
opium is
but-
good for is funding
but
terrorists.
guys, which is the country, the
I'm
land or the people?
The land.
But,
Clearly,
if you
people.
take-
Obviously, like, the people are just stuck within a bunch of imaginary lines drawn in the sand.
Side note: How are we gonna deal with the question of the Israel in this case?
yeah, that's
If the country doesn't equal the people, I don't know. Israel would beg to differ.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, this comes down to like
We'll
recognition.
make an exception.
So this like comes down to like recognition of the state. So like from like an IR stance, like if you say you're a country but no one recognizes you, you're not a country.
at the same time, if you can defend yourself from any outside threats, no one can take you over. Then you kind of get to still be a country.
I mean,
Like
but, like-
Israel does.
Well, also like northern, the Turkish Republic of Cyprus, is like the northern part of Cyprus, and like no one has a reason to go screw it up. But like at the same time, like it's not nationally recognized because only Turkey recognizes it. Because like the rest of Cyprus, is like you're just Cyprus, just submit, my guy.
That is true. It's like Cyprus is very tiny.
Yes.
And
No one
nothing.
cares about
There's nothing of value.
Yeah, it's like if your crazy next door neighbor would declare himself an independent nation, like no one would go.
Victoria.
Yeah.
But,
Like,
like-
the only thing that Cyprus has ever been good for is a staging area for Middle Eastern operations for the British Army. That's pretty much it. Beyond that, it's pretty much useless.
Yeah.
I mean, but it gives the British a good place to like set up.
Oh yeah,
That's not Turkey.
exactly. Just that's what.
Because
Like,
who would
yeah.
want to go there?
No one wants to go to Turkey. No.
Yeah, because then they'd have to work around the Turks, and they
The
could just
Brits
work.
don't want to go back to Turkey. They tried that once. It went poorly.
Yeah.
Like, my professor asked me this. She was like, "Is Turkey the Middle East? Or are they Middle Eastern? Or are they European?" And I was like, "Stupid."
So they're Middle Eastern, but they want to be European. There's a
They're
slight
not,
difference.
They're not though.
But they're not.
I mean, they do have a foothold in Europe, technically.
Yeah, but like, I
They
don't know.
basically
Like-
stole it.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Full on
technically,
Crimea style.
I mean,
Yes.
is Turkey in the EU?
yes.
Yeah.
No.
No.
They want to be.
No, they want to be, but they
desperately
can't
want
be
to
because
They're not
their
European.
policy, like they won't get rid of certain things, like executing people for
Recognizing
No,
the
no, no,
Armenian
I
genocide.
forgot what it was.
for being gay.
Yeah, I think something like that. Like they won't get rid of that. so
Recognizing
they're
the
not-
Armenian genocide.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
that is
that's
another
a
thing.
big one. That's
I mean,
a big one.
That's the
Turkey
big
says it
one.
didn't happen. It clearly didn't happen, right?
Obviously
Basically, the
not.
only people who don't think that happened are the people who were born in Turkey.
I guess I could just wait until all the people who were responsible for that just die off or are no longer relevant.
Okay,
I
this is-
think
this
they
is-
are all dead. They
this
just,
is-
they
It
just
was
keep,
a while
they just
ago.
keep teaching it to each. Remember, this was like World War One that this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all dead now.
This is post World War era, yeah, under the Young Turks.
I don't think there's anyone alive.
I mean,
who's
this is also
wrong
like
that
the same
is
thing
still
with
alive.
Japan, because Japan, like after
Oh,
World
yeah.
War II, like declared itself a new government, having no like relation at all to the previous government, even though like it's all the same people. Although I will give them credit, like the United States came and was like, "Here's a new constitution.
yeah.
We'd like you to use this constitution." Like, but what if we write around? They're like, "No."
Yeah, to
you're
be
gonna
fair,
use
it
this."
wasn't. The Japanese government was just kind of
No, you got
a
fucked by
puppet
us.
to MacArthur. MacArthur was the
MacArthur
government.
literally wrote, yeah. So the point being is like they don't take responsibility for any like war crimes that were conducted because they're like, that wasn't us. And
That
it's
is
like,
true.
It's like, but that clearly was the country that you came out of. It's like, but that wasn't us.
And that is why China hates them so much.
yeah.
there is no brotherhood among Asian nations. They
No,
all,
it's not.
They all hate
They
each
all
other.
look the same, but they all hate each other.
Seriously, they hate each other so goddamn
It's
much.
true.
I know.
I think that they hate each other more than like any set of nations has ever hated each other.
I think it's hilarious.
Is
that,
Palestine
like,
a nation?
No.
No.
I think it's hilarious. Like, what is it? Is it China controls Thailand? Is that it? Or
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
They don't technically own
But
Thailand.
Taiwan is like,
Okay,
fuck
okay.
you, we're China. We're real China.
Taiwan number one.
I know.
Taiwan number
If you're
one.
asking,
But it's hilarious because I listened to another podcast and this guy is like his mother was from Taiwan
yeah, they get
and he
mad.
would like he would like go
Oh,
to
yeah.
like he would like speak to Chinese people like who needed directions or something and they're like but he like looks like a white guy because his
Yeah.
dad was white and he's like and the people are like wow you speak really good Chinese. It's like where'd you learn Chinese from? He's like oh my mom was from Taiwan and they're like oh god they're like they don't even thank him for giving him giving them directions. They just like get mad at him.
Taiwan
I
is a
remember,
rogue
like
province.
back when I was in Mandarin class, we sometimes asked our teacher, who was from mainland China, what Taiwan was, and she would always say it's a region.
It's a set of mud huts.
How do you look at Tibet? It's a region.
It is a region. It is an autonomous region.